Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show where we love Seattle pro sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and today I am bringing you a Seattle Seahawks 7 round mock draft. The day this gets posted and you're hearing this, it is 1 week away from the actual draft, so we're getting close. We got to start doing some things that we would like the Seahawks to do, and what they, some things that they might do. Now, I have an idea of what I want to do going into this one already, and it is very much inspired by Mike Salk because I heard him on the radio saying something. There's something that Seahawks could do that would make him angry and should make Seattle angry. Seattle Seahawks fans angry. And I say no, that is absolutely wrong. Because in my eyes, if this happened, I would be happy. Okay? Oh, we're going to make one more move here. So just so you know, as I was talking there, I already made one trade. I traded back with Philadelphia. We traded them 16, and then we received 22 and 50. Okay, they took Quinyon Mitchell. We got one more trade offer on the table that I am going to take right here. Minnesota wants to move up one spot. They see that other teams are trying to trade with us, so they gotta bring us a good offer. So we have 22 and 118, and they are going to give us 23. So we're moving back one spot, and then we are getting 108. So we're moving up 10 spots there in the 4th round, and they are sending us the 2025 3rd round pick. So that's a pretty good value for us in my eyes. We're going to accept that one. And let's see here. At this point, so we're at 23, okay, and players on the board: Johnny Newton, Byron Murphy, Nate Wiggins, Cooper DeJean, Graham Barton, Jackson Powers Johnson, Bo Nix. Those are players on the table, okay, but again, inspired by what I heard Mike Salk say and what would make him angry, I'm here to show you why it should not make you angry, and it could be a very good move. And it would be a move if they decided to do it. It's a move that I would say, okay, I am okay with that. I am in fact happy with that. So at pick 23 here, we are taking cornerback / safety Cooper DeJean. Right? No, do not be mad if the Seahawks take Cooper DeJean in the 1st round. If they trade back, if they trade a pick and move back and pick up an extra pick, do not be mad if they get Cooper DeJean. He is an amazing player. He broke his tibia, right, in November. That's the only reason why he's falling to you at this pick. Otherwise, we're talking about, and we're talking about a pick in the 20s. If you are able to trade back and still get Cooper DeJean in the 20s, you are doing really good. Okay, because again, we are talking about somebody, if he didn't break his leg in November and was able to finish out the season and just show how much of a dynamic player he is, if he got to go to the Senior Bowl, got to go to the workouts, got to go to the combine, got to do everything, he would be picked before your pick at 16. So you're getting one of the top players in this draft falling to you just because of, one, the quarterbacks in this draft this year are amazing. And it just so happens, in my eyes, the last couple of years, quarterback play and talent in general has been really down in the NFL. There's a lot of teams that need good quarterbacks, and a lot of them are going to get picked in the 1st round because there's the combination of we got good talent, a lot of good talent, and a lot of teams that need talent badly at quarterback position. We have a lot of teams that are middling, that got no you know, real weapon threats at the receiver position. And we have a lot of receivers this year that are potentially generational type of receivers that have that type of capability. Okay, so a lot of those are going. We have a lot of tackles in this draft that are seen as, oh, again, maybe being generational type tackles. So you're going to get a lot of those guys going. And because of somebody like Cooper DeJean, who he would be seen as that, but because of the injury, he's falling down. You're not, you are, it's almost lucky that the Seahawks have a middle of the round pick and are able to move back because, one, they don't need a receiver. Two, tackle is not a pressing need, and do you, if you had the number 1 overall pick, yeah, you'd be happy to have Caleb Williams, but quarterback, you're not, you don't have a quarterback that you're paying an exorbitant amount to, or that you feel is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. So you can get somebody like a Cooper DeJean for Mike McDonald and his system. Okay, don't just look at the position, look at the player, and look at the coach and what they do with those type of players in their system. It would be amazing to have somebody like a Cooper DeJean in there. Having a Cooper DeJean and a Witherspoon on the field together, that would be amazing. Now, what does that do for Woolen? If you keep Woolen around, if he doesn't get traded after making this type of move, then you say, wow, you have now the ability to put Woolen in positions where he's not, you're putting him in positions of his greatest strength, and you're going to have him avoid his weaknesses. So he's going to look, closer to what he looked like in his rookie year versus this last year. So, yeah, I think it would actually be a great move. And again, we did that, and we picked up a pick in the 2nd round. So now look at the choices we have: Darius Robinson, Rook Aurora, Cooper Beebe, Edgerrin Cooper, Xavier Legette. Okay, these are all players still available right now. That Peyton Wilson, Cedric Gray, Braden Fisk, Brandon Dorles, Junior Coulson. These are all players that are available to us right now that, again, we can pick whoever we want right here. For me, the Seahawks, they went out and got Laken Tomlinson. Cooper Beebe is here, and he would be nice. But, again, because of that move, again, Laken Tomlinson, it's not a pressing need. Now we have to make a couple of hard choices here. Okay, Darius Robinson, Edgerrin Cooper, and for me, Junior Coulson. Those would be my 3 choices here that I'd be fighting about in the war room at this position. Because again, look at the defense. A lot of 1-year players at safety, at linebacker. A lot of things need to come around with that. And this coaching staff is a brand new coaching staff. Okay, so we don't know what they like. We don't know who they like, who they don't like, and what they're keeping around. So they could, also take somebody like a Darius Robinson. And even though there's a lot of resources already poured into those positions, it's not expensive in the draft, and you're going through the future just in case you don't like. Mike McDonald doesn't like one of those guys that is there already. But that's not the way I'm going to go here. Again, I'm just going for and looking now at what do the Seahawks need and what makes sense. And what makes sense here is Junior Coulson, okay? Because you don't want to wait till 81 because you don't want to miss out on him, and you want the guy that Mike McDonald recognized as a defensive coordinator, to start him as a true freshman at Michigan, already understands the system. Again, that is complicated, but Junior Coulson already understands it, can call the system, recognizes he knows this in and out already. He's going to be able to come in and be a fit right away. Now they have him here rated as like the third best linebacker or fourth, but again, you hear a lot of debate about that. You can order these any way you like. I hear a lot of people rating Coulson 1. I see a lot of people putting Peyton Wilson 1. I see a lot of people putting Edgerrin Cooper 1. It's very mixed, but I see no reason why Mike McDonald wouldn't himself have Junior Coulson 1 on his board and be relaying that to John Schneider. Okay, so we're getting Junior Coulson here again. Defensive guru, okay, the Sean McVay of defense. You need to start letting him get his weapons and get players that he can build around and develop in his system and really show you what he's all about. You don't want to go hire the Sean McVay of defense and give him nothing that he wants to work with, okay? So here we go. We got Cooper DeJean. We got Junior Coulson. And now we're a little bit further down the draft here. Now what do we want to do? Again, we could. I just talked about it. It's not a pressing need. They have a lot of resources already poured into the position, but there's a couple of edge players here that I really like, and that we know the Seahawks have liked. We know that Marshawn Nealand came in. We know that Trevin Wallace came in. I don't believe that Brandon Dorles came in, but I know that he's a very good player as well. Let's see. I'm just double checking here to see if somebody like a Brandon Dorles was brought in. I don't see. Oh, the list I'm looking at here is not even a fully updated list, so that does me no good. But let me double check again. Yeah. Anyways, there's some good players here on the table now, but also on the table right here we see again Roger Rosengarten here. Again, that would be a great pick as well for building that offensive line and building depth. And he's a guy that can be there to take over for a starting tackle position if you need, or be the heir apparent to that guard position, if not win the guard position outright in his rookie year. So we have a couple of tough choices here. Do we get Mike McDonald another weapon here to keep building in his system, or do we start building our offensive line here? And just thinking about, and I'm going to look, what's coming up later down the draft. Would we be okay with getting some of those guys later in the draft as well? And maybe so. Maybe so. As much as I know a lot of the locals would like Roger Rosengarten here, I am going to take Brandon Dorles here. Again, I'm getting another weapon for Mike McDonald to develop in his system, and a weapon like a Brandon Dorles that can be used um, the way Mike McDonald wants to use edge players in his system. So there you go. There we go at pick 81. We got Brandon Dorles. Now at 102, we got a few choices here. We've gotten quite a few weapons now for Mike McDonald. Do we take a look around here now and see, is this where we need to start getting some weapons for the offensive side of the ball? And here I say yes, because I see a player on the board. Even though there's Blake Corum, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is on here, De'Vondre Sweat is here. You know, we got Mike Sandra still here, Bucky Irving, Spencer Rattler, you know, McKinley Jackson. But where I'm going with this one, I'm going with Cade Stover, the tight end out of Ohio State. I think he can be a real nice big target for you, be a good run blocker as well. You know, he again a guy that if you develop well could become a really solid piece for you in this system. And again, we have Noah Fant for the next 2 years as well. So, you know, he's got time to develop, and you got time to find out if you really want to keep Noah Fant around, and how much of an impact Stover can make. So let's take Stover here. And then our next pick through that trade that we made with Minnesota, correct? Yeah, this was the one that we made with Minnesota. And we got pick 108. So now at 108, oh my goodness, luckily for us, that DWI that De'Vondre Sweat just recently dealt with continues to have him slide here further into the 4th round. And you know, I was just hearing on a mock today by one of the bigger mock draft people out there. They have him in that 4th, 5th round range now. So let's get De'Vondre Sweat here again. Now, this far down the draft, you're getting really good value out of that pick and out of that player. And again, he is planted right in the middle of that defensive line, really, really opening things up for Leonard Williams, Draymond Jones, Boye Mafe, Uchenna Nwosu, and now adding Brandon Dorles in the mix. Oh my goodness, what a rotation of defensive line you would be able to bring out. And you know, whether they got their hand on the ground or they're standing up, oh my goodness, that defensive line, that defensive front is going to look scary to the opposing offenses with Mike McDonald's system and the way he disguises things. Okay, so now we're at pick 179 here, and let's take a look around what we got. Just kind of taking a look through here. Let's look at offensive, because now we're looking at yeah, I can keep going here. So with what's on the board right now, I don't need to address offensive line right now, because I know we haven't addressed offensive line yet. But again, just that 1 year Laken Tomlinson deal, I feel like kind of gives us time, right? So what I'm looking at here, looking at the board, a few choices here. Again, Hunter Nazard is their center, so you can get another person to compete for that backup center job if you wanted to. Uh, we have Maris Liufau here. You got um, you know Trey Taylor, Tip Raymond, Joe Milton, uh, Edwin Olafashio, uh, Sion Vaki, AJ Barner. They're all here. Cornelius Johnson. So still, some pieces that you could or that you would hope to grab and develop here. For let's see here, let me look at the position by position just so I could see what is exactly is at each one, so I'd make sure I don't miss something here. Okay, and then I'm going to take a quick look around. What do we got on the offensive side? Yeah, okay, so where I'm going here at 179, we can take somebody like, I'm going to take, I like the linebacker, Maris Liufau out of Notre Dame. Okay, so again, another guy that we can bring in here, and with his athleticism, you bring him in and hope that Mike McDonald can help develop him in the middle of that linebacker room. Okay, now pick 192. Now let's take a look. Okay, now we're looking at let's fill some players that could be developed for future needs. Okay, and you know, on the offensive line, for what we have, kind of in this range at 192 here. Well, shoot. I think. That actually made it kind of tough. I taking a look around what's in here. There's a couple of centers that I want, but I don't know if I really want to take a center. But based of what we have on the rest of the board and where we're picking, I'm okay with it. So, for us again, just making sense of being familiar in the system with the coaches already. I'm going to take the center. I'm going to take Drake Nugent here. Okay, and then our next pick comes at 235. Ooh, let's take a look at all players. And now at 235, at 235 here, this is where I say, okay, let's go ahead and hold on, let me see. Okay, Anthony Gould is still there. Kamani Vidal is still there. We do have Kyle Hergel there, an offensive guard here as well. Um, I think the way we will go with this one is uh in the mid heart. I kind of do still want to fill that need uh that we have, and because it is so late in the draft, you know, taking an offensive lineman here to develop, in that left guard position. I think uh yeah, I don't think it'd be too bad. I mean, we're talking about, you know, uh, he was at Boston College, right? Kyle Hergel, and he didn't allow any sacks this year. Just two quarterback hurries and two quarterback pressures. So a guy that you can develop here late in the draft. So that's where we're going. Getting somebody in there to, again, he's going to be on a 4-year deal, cheap 4-year deal, and probably be behind Lincoln Tomlinson year one here, and then they'll see if they like him for the future. So here is how this draft played out. Again, and now you let me know if you would be mad at this. Okay, Cooper DeJean number 1. Then you get Junior Coulson number 2. Brandon Corliss is your 3rd pick. Cade Stover is your 4th pick. Devondre Sweat is your 5th pick. So to me, the first 5 picks, because you traded back and you were able to pick up that extra pick in the 2nd round, you got a lot of really good. You got a lot of value in that for your team, and getting a couple extra players that you're able to pick up that could have an impact on your team this year. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe you take somebody like Jared Verse at 16, which I hear Mike Sock says he would like to do. But then again, your next pick isn't until 81. Is Jared Verse that special to you? If they are to the Seahawks, then I wouldn't be mad at that move either. But what I'm saying is, if he's not and they trade back, I would not be mad if they went and got Cooper DeJean for this defense, and then added Junior Coulson to that defense as well, and then added Brandon Dorles and Devondre Sweat all to that defense. And now you're talking about building a core of players for Mike McDonald's system. Okay, and not just giving him, 1-year veteran contracts that he's working with, this year across all these positions, right? So I really like the way that played out. I like picking up Cade Stover as our 4th pick. And then, our final 3 guys, Marisley Afau, Drake Nugent, and Kyle Hergel, all guys that you can take in and, do your best to develop and help have them, be contributors to the team. You're not feeling bad about that. But let you tell me how you feel. I mean, if the Seahawks trade back in the 1st round and then the first pick they make is Cooper DeJean, is that going to make you angry? I hope not. I hope that this mock showed you why it shouldn't. Again, just based off of the moves that they made in free agency, and clearly the last couple of years, the offense being the strong point of this team, and the defense being one of the worst in the league the last couple of years, and now you're hiring this defensive guru, the Sean McVay of defense. You gotta give him players and weapons to show why that is said about him. I don't think it would make sense to hire a guy to be your head coach like that, and who's going to be the head coach and defensive coordinator making the play calls on defense, if you're not going to give him the weapons that make sense to fit his system. And if you can get him more of those weapons and players, I think that just makes even more sense. But there you go. Let me know what you think of it. Give me this. And again, we're getting close now. So, we're looking at closer to what they might actually do, what we would want them to do. I'm saying if they traded back and got Cooper DeJean, yes, that is something I would be happy with in reality. So let me know what you would think of that in reality and give me those grades A, B, C, D, F. And we're getting close. We're getting real close now, so be even more harsh in your criticisms when you are leaving those comments now, okay? And then make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave those comments. If you're listening on a podcast version, also subscribe, follow, leave a 5-star rating and written review because that all helps the show grow. And thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken. So take cover, because with this sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.